Hello everybody from freetradingvideos.com. It's Matador. It's April 21st, 2009, and it looks like stocks are on the rise after an interesting little open. Looks like the United Tech beats Street, and that's being helpful to the markets even in the face of some adverse news, and that's kind of fun to watch unfold. The divergence yesterday was actually fairly dramatic. We talked about that if you watched yesterday's noon video. But now the TRINQ and the TRIN itself are back in line. So I'm looking at the S&P 500 tracking index, and after a little gap down this morning, which felt rather large actually, we filled that gap almost completely. Drop a line in here. There he is at right the open. Came right back up, and now we are back to a complete gap fill plus some. And so that is being corroborated beautifully with the TRIN at 0.55 after staying high all day yesterday on the sell-off, and the TRINQ is also corroborating that now and matching up beautifully. So we've got that. The tick also has spent a good part of the day after 11 o'clock above zero. So check this out. Here's the VIX. Here's the 11 o'clock mark right around here. The reason I keep saying 11 o'clock is because that is when the TRIN finally dropped below 1.0. So right in here, that was the first time I would ever consider going long the market when the TRIN and the TRINQ finally matched up again. All right, so again, that's very, very important for me as one of my filters. The VIX was bleeding out after about that time. A little bit of a preemptive strike here. And the tick itself, go back again, was doing a little preemptive strike on the 11 o'clock hour as well. So the TRIN was last, but when they all came into line, you could find some really good buys in here, at least on an intraday scale. On a broader market outlook, a broader time frame as well, you can see that on a daily chart we're still holding up in this high base, even though this rising wedge that D7 was talking about yesterday showed a little bit of failure. There's some money to be made intraday yesterday as well. So that's cool to see it kind of marching back up here. That has now damaged this support level. You can see it's a perfect gap fill now from back here, and we're going to have a good bit of work to go higher past this. There we are, and of course these resistance areas up here. So we've got some work to do to break out this resistance. We have some work to do to break down through support if we're going to go lower. But again, when all these broad markets are sort of in line, if you will, on a day like this, it lets me be a little bit more bullish than bearish, at least intraday. And then again, I would have to look more at a longer time frame to decide what I want to do in the long run and wait for these stocks to break out past resistance before I go long anything, or look for relative strength stocks that are exhibiting that type of behavior in this environment. So again, I know I've said this a few times, but it helps to reiterate over and over, and I hope this is helping. Again, thank you for your comments. I plan on burning a movie this evening. I said that last night. I had a couple meetings I needed to be in, but I'm going to try to do this every evening from now on. So stay tuned for those. They may come late. You can check them out in the morning or at the end of the next day. So take care, everybody, and thanks for being with us here at FTV. Look forward to D7's video after the market closes, and take care, everybody.